Verse 22. Above that, in the heart, is the charming lotus of the shining color of the Paduka flower, with the 12 letters beginning with Ka, Ka, of the color of vermilion placed therein. It is known by its name of Anahata, and is like the celestial wishing tree, bestowing even more than the supplicant's desire. The region of Vayu, beautiful with its 6 corners, which is like unto the smoke in color, is here. Commentary. The Anahata lotus is described in the 6 verses beginning with this. This lotus should be meditated upon in the heart. The verb dhyayet is understood. The 12 letters beginning with Ka, Ka, that is, letters Ka, Ka, to Ta, Tha, are on the petals. It is known by its name Anahata. Namna Nahata Samjnakam. It is so called by the Munis because it is here that the sound of Shabda Brahman is heard. That Shabda, or sound which issues without the striking of any 2 things together. Wishing tree is the tree in heaven which grants all one asks, as it is like the Kalpataru, so it bestows more than is desired. Region of Vayu, Vayur Mandalam. In the pericap of this lotus is the Vayu Mandala. Verse 23. Meditate within it on the sweet and excellent Pavana Bija, grey as a mass of smoke, with 4 arms and seated on a black antelope, and within it also meditate upon the abode of mercy, the stainless Lord, who is lustrous like the sun, and whose 2 hands make the gestures which grant boons and dispel the fears of the 3 worlds. Commentary. In this verse, the author speaks of the presence of the Vayu Bija in the Anahata Chakra. Pavana Bija, Pavan Akshara, that is, the Bija Yam. Grey as a mass of smoke. Dhumavali Dhusara. It has a greyish color of smoke by reason of its being surrounded by masses of vapor. A black antelope, which is noted for its fleetness, is the Vahana or carrier of Vayu. Vayu carries his weapon Ankusha in the same way that Varuna carries his weapon Pasha. He next speaks of the presence of Isha in the Vayu Bija. Everywhere Shiva is spoken of as having 3 eyes, hence Isha also has 3 eyes. Elsewhere it is said, meditate upon him as wearing a jeweled necklet and chain of gems around his neck and bells on his toes, and also clad in silken raiment. In the same way of him it has also been said, the beautiful one possessed of the soft radiance of 10 million moons, and shining with the radiance of his matted hair. Isha should therefore be thought of as clad in silken raiment, etc. Verse 24. Here dwells Kakini, who in color is yellow, like unto new lightning, exhilarated and auspicious, three-eyed, and the benefactress of all. She wears all kinds of ornaments, and in her 4 hands she carries the noose and the skull, and makes the sign of blessing, and the sign which dispels fear. Her heart is softened with the drinking of nectar. Commentary. In this verse, the author speaks of the presence of the Shakti Kakini. Exhilarated, Mata, that is, she is not in an ordinary, but in a happy, excited mood. With the drinking of nectar, etc. Purna Sudha Rasadra Hiridaya. Her heart is softened to benevolence by the drinking of nectar, or it may be interpreted to mean that her heart is softened by the supreme bliss caused by drinking the excellent nectar which drops from the Sahasrara. Her heart expands with the supreme bliss. Kakini should be thought of as wearing the skin of a black antelope. Compare the following dhyana of Kakini, where she is so described. If thou desirest that the practice of thy mantra be crowned with success, meditate on the moon-faced, ever-existent Shakti Kakini, wearing the skin of a black antelope adorned with all ornaments. Verse 25. The Shakti, whose tender body is like 10 million flashes of lightning, is in the pericap of this lotus in the form of a triangle, Trikona. Inside the triangle is the Shiva Linga known by the name of Vana. This linga is like shining gold, and on his head is an orifice minute as that in a gem. He is the resplendent abode of Lakshmi. Commentary. In this shloka is described the triangle Trikona, which is in the pericap of this lotus. Shakti in the form of a triangle. Trikona Bidhi Shakti. By this we are to understand that the apex of the triangle is downward. This Trikona is below the Vayu Bija, as has been said elsewhere. In its lap is Isha, below it, within the Trikona, is Vana Linga. On his head, etc. Maulau Shukshma Vibheda Yung Mani. This is a description of Vana Linga. The orifice is the little space within the Bindu, which is within the half moon, which is on the head of the Linga. Elsewhere we find the following description. The Vana Linga within the triangle, decked in jewels made of gold, the Deva with the half moon on his head. In the middle is an excellent red lotus. The red lotus in this quotation is one below the pericarp of the heart lotus. It has its head turned upward and has 8 petals. It is in this lotus that mental worship or manas puja should be made. Compare the following. Inside is the red 8-petaled lotus. There is also the kalpa tree and the seat of the Ishta Deva under a beautiful awning, Chandratapa, surrounded by trees laden with flowers and fruits and sweet-voiced birds. There meditate on the Ishta Deva according to the ritual of the worshipper. Orifice, minute as. Here he speaks of the bindu, which is the head of the Vanalinga. As a gem has a minute orifice in it when pierced to be threaded, so has this linga. By this is meant that the bindu is in the head of the Shiva linga. Resplendent abode of Lakshmi. By this one must know the great beauty of the linga due to a rush of desire. Verse 26. He who meditates on this heart lotus becomes like the Lord of speech, and like Ishwara, he is able to protect and destroy the worlds. This lotus is like the celestial wishing tree, the abode and seat of Sharva. It is beautified by the Hamsa, which is like unto the steady tapering flame of a lamp in a windless place. The filaments which surround and adorn its pericarp, illumined by the solar region, charm. Commentary. In this and the following verse, he speaks of the good to be gained by meditating on the heart lotus. He who meditates on this lotus in the heart becomes like the Lord of speech, that is, Brihaspati, the Guru of the Devas, and able like Ishvara, the Creator, to protect and destroy the worlds. Briefly, he becomes the Creator, Protector, and Destroyer of the worlds. He speaks of the presence of the Jivatma, which is Hamsa, in the pericarp of this lotus. The Jivatma is like the steady flame of a lamp in a windless place, and enhances the beauty of this lotus. Anila hina dipa kalika hamsena sam shobitam. Hamsa is the Jivatma. He also speaks of the presence of Surya Mandala in the pericarp of this lotus. The filaments which surround and adorn its pericarp, illumined by the solar region, charm. Bhannor Mandala Manditantara Lasat Kinjlaka Shobad Dharam. It is beautified by reason of the filaments which surround the pericarp being tinged by the rays of the sun. The rays of the sun beautify the filaments, and not the space within the pericarp. The filaments of the other lotuses are not so tinged, and it is the distinctive feature of this lotus. By the expression, the mandala of Surya, Bhanu, the reader is to understand that all the filaments in the pericarp are beauteous with the rays of the sun, and not a portion of them. all over the pericarp is spread the region of Vayu. Above it is the region of Surya, and above these the Vayu Bija and Trikona, etc. should be meditated upon. This is quite consistent. In mental worship, the mantra is Mam, M-A-M, salutation to the region of fire with his 10 kalas, etc. From texts and mantras like this, we therefore see that the regions of Vani or fire, Arka or sun, and Chandra or moon are placed one above the other. Ishvara is creator, able to protect and destroy the world. Raksha Vinay Ksham, that is, it is he who protects and destroys. The idea meant to be conveyed by these three attributes is that he becomes possessed of the power of creating, maintaining, and destroying the universe. Verse 27. Foremost among yogis, he ever is dearer than dearest to women. He is preeminently wise and full of noble deeds. His senses are completely under control. His mind, in its intense concentration, is engrossed in thoughts of the Brahman. His inspired speech flows like a stream of clear water. He is like the Devata who is the beloved of Lakshmi, and he is able at will to enter another's body. Commentary. Dearer than the dearest to women. Priyat Priyatama Kanta Kulasaya, that is, because he is skillful to please them. His senses are completely under control. Jitendriya Gana, that is, he is one who should be counted among those that have completely subjugated their senses. His mind, in its intense concentration, is engrossed in thoughts of the Brahman. Dhyana Audana Kashama. Dhyana is Brahma Chitana, and Avdhana means steady hand and intense concentration of the mind. The yogi is capable of both. His inspired speech flows like a stream of clear water. Kavyam Buddhara Vaha. The flow of his speech is compared to an uninterrupted flow of water, and it is he from whom it flows. He is like the Devata, who is the beloved of Lakshmi. Lakshmi Rangana Daivata. He becomes like the Deva, who is the beloved of Lakshmi. Lakshmi, the Devi of prosperity, is the spouse of Vishnu. This compound word is capable of another meaning. It may mean one who has enjoyed all prosperity, Lakshmi, and all good fortune, Rangana, in this world, and who goes along the path of liberation. It has therefore been said, having enjoyed in this world the best of pleasures, he in the end goes to the abode of liberation. Another's body, Parapura. He is able at will to enter the enemy's fort or citadel, Durga, even though guarded and rendered difficult of access, and he gains power by which he may render himself invisible, fly across the sky, and other similar powers. It may also mean another man's body. Summary of verses 22 to 27. The heart lotus is of the color of the Paduka flower, and on its 12 petals are the letters Ka, Ka, to Tha, Tha, with the bindu above them of the color of vermilion. In its pericap is the hexagonal Vayu Mandala of a smoky color, and above it Surya Mandala, with the Trikona lustrous as 10 million flashes of lightning within it. Above it, the Vayu Bija of a smoky hue is seated on a black antelope, four-armed, and carrying the goad Ankusha. In his Vayubija's lap is three-eyed Isha. Like Hamsa, his two arms extended in the gestures of granting boons and dispelling fear. In the pericap of this lotus, seated on a red lotus, is the Shakti Kakini. She is four-armed and carries the noose Pasha, the skull Kapala, and makes the boon and fear-dispelling signs. She is of a golden hue, is dressed in yellow raiment, and wears every variety of jewel and a garland of bones. Her heart is softened by nectar. In the middle of the Trikona is Shiva in the form of a Vana Linga, with the crescent moon and bindu on his head. He is of golden color. He looks joyous, with a rush of desire. Below him is the Jivatma, like Hamsa. It is like the steady tapering flame of a lamp. Below the pericap of this lotus is the red lotus of 8 petals, with its head upturned. It is in this red lotus that there are the Kalpa tree, the jeweled altar surmounted by an awning, and decorated by flags and the like, which is the place of mental worship. Here ends the 4th section